Morning, my name is SCHEPERS and I'm a customer engineer, a pre-sales engineer for the Google Cloud team in Belgium and Luxembourg. We assist companies like yours with their journey to public cloud. My background is mainly in IT and financial services, and before joining Google, I worked in different architect and managerial roles for a large insurance and banking company in Belgium. Today I will discuss some of the benefits that a multi and hybrid cloud strategy might offer. I will debunk some of the popular myths, some misunderstandings and misconceptions about multi-cloud, and talk about 5 ways how to succeed and move forward in a multi-cloud world. So limiting yourself to a single cloud stack can come at a cost. Instead of taking advantage of the unique capabilities of every cloud, you face the limitations of proprietary systems. So rather than uncovering more insights with best-of-breed tools, silo data and data gravity might slow down your analysis. Where there could be resilience that comes from entirely different systems, there is concentration risk. So to diversify their cloud strategy and to avoid these limitations, many organizations have turned to multi-cloud and hybrid deployments. Being locked into single vendor solutions can put you at risk. Imagine that the provider is forced to suspend or terminate its cloud services due to regulatory changes or an unexpected outage. We don't think it's possible actually to fully address survivability requirements with a single proprietary cloud solution. Instead, following an open cloud approach can help you address policymaker concerns. An open cloud approach should rely on open source tools and open standards, we believe, rather than proprietary tools and systems that lock you into one single vendor. Open cloud ensures development and operational consistency across environments, as well as effective management of infrastructure, apps, and data across the organization. So leveraging cloud services that are open source based, you get maximum choice, you get increased longevity and survivability of your IT investments, and you gain access to the most innovative technologies. So in this era of distributed cloud, openness and interoperability empower faster innovation, tighter security, and freedom from vendor lock-in. So now let's clarify some of the often heard misunderstandings about multi-cloud. That multi-cloud is expensive, for example. Reality is, managed strategically, multi-cloud can give you the flexibility you need to actually lower your overall IT costs. An all-in-one cloud approach means that you're locked into the features and services of one vendor for multiple years. Operating in multiple clouds lets you choose the most cost-effective solution for your business and leverage providers actually against each other to get the best price. So myth number 2, most organizations are all in one cloud. Nevertheless, reality is, according to research from Gartner and Flexera, that the majority of enterprises are currently hybrid in nature, with plans to move to more than one cloud in the future. And even according to Flexera's 2021 State of the Cloud report, 92% of enterprises have a multi-cloud strategy and 82% have a hybrid cloud strategy. Now let's talk about the second topic to consider when addressing multi-cloud, and that is actually the importance of a standardized way of developing, testing, deploying, and monitoring the software you build across your multiple environments. So developers have to code and roll out features and feature releases quickly to keep up with competitors. This is complicated when development and platform teams try to make changes across more than one cloud. So therefore, companies should aim to normalize their software delivery processes and tooling by creating a consistent developer experience for the so-called inner loop and a standard deployment API for every environment. So first, you need a common compute stack, and preferably it should be open source so that it works in any environment without vendor lock-in. It should accommodate legacy systems, since there is too much critical technology to be able to port it all over, and it needs to run on premises, in the cloud, and on the edge, actually wherever a business needs it. Then you need the tools and practices necessary to build and scale quickly, without being constrained by which environment you operate in. So this means a development platform that allows developers to build, test and deploy software across all programming languages and in multiple clouds. But you will also require the right tools to monitor and troubleshoot your highly distributed microservices and APIs, running across these multiple and many environments. So bringing together logs, metrics and traces from distributed applications and systems running across different clouds gives developers and operators the data they need to ensure the performance and reliability of their services. Companies who truly get development, rollout and operations right can reap huge rewards. With multi-cloud, developers can use the best services from each cloud, run each workload in the right place and build highly reliable and resilient applications. Another common misunderstanding often heard is you can't have speed and reliability in multi-cloud. Reality is, though, that with the right set of developer tools and advanced monitoring across environments, your developers can quickly write code, can deploy the multiple environments, while your platform operators still have a holistic view into all the services to ensure reliability. Now let's talk about how to make your workloads portable across environments and create a uniform management experience. So today enterprises have applications in a variety of locations and they want the freedom to keep them there or to move them in the future. But this is only possible if the applications are portable. So Kubernetes decouples actually applications from the underlying infrastructure and decouples resource administration and provisioning from the developer experience so teams can work in parallel without blocking each other. In 2014, Google contributed the Kubernetes project to the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. And while the enterprise adoption of open source Kubernetes was significant, many teams then still struggled with day 2 operations, provisioning and management of clusters. Therefore, Google and other public cloud providers created fully managed Kubernetes services and address those concerns. And as of 2019, Run Anywhere Kubernetes platforms were created that are connected to public clouds, delivering an array of capabilities that make multi-cloud more accessible and sustainable. Open source Kubernetes and by extension managed Kubernetes services can help to create that abstraction layer, so actually decoupling your infrastructure and the software you deploy on it. So another common misconception often heard is multi-cloud is complex and difficult to manage. Reality is, using the proper tooling doesn't need to be that way. You can manage your containerized applications across multiple cloud on-premise environments from a single management plane. If you want to push your business forward, you need access to your data and the ability to quickly derive insights from it. And that doesn't change if the data is in multiple clouds. So unfortunately, the cost of moving data between cloud providers isn't sustainable for many businesses, and it's still difficult to seamlessly analyze and act on data across different clouds. Nevertheless, you should plan for being able to take advantage of your analytics and machine learning capabilities regardless of where your data resides. So companies should plan for a unified analytics solutions that avoid having you to copy or move your data from one public cloud to another, and that provide a unified business intelligence platform across your cloud deployments. Often valuable data that is required for new application development is logged into systems that may reside on premises or in a different cloud environment. Accessing this data may burden legacy systems and create dependencies that negatively affect future migration or modernization plans. An API abstraction layer can help here as well. It can enable your teams to tap into this data easily and in a secure manner. So if you choose to modernize legacy systems that host that data, the API layer ensures that your new applications stay up and running. Too often companies are held back by data gravity and are forced to use a limited set of tools where their data resides. So multi-cloud analytics let you focus on generating insights that will take your business forward. Another common misunderstanding often heard is multi-cloud forces you down the path of the lowest common denominator. Reality is, though, with the right choices, a multi-cloud approach can result in a race to the top. With analysis tools that work across clouds and break data silos down, you don't have to be limited to the best tools just your current environment or your current cloud offers, but you can take advantage of the best services available anywhere. Then getting security right in the cloud can be challenging, and customers have been responsible for building effective cloud security programs on their own. The result is that enterprises have viewed the cloud as a risk to be managed instead of a platform for managing risk. Nevertheless, now more than ever, organizations have to adopt a consistent and unified approach to hybrid multi-cloud data security, given the evolving threat landscape, and to reduce customer risk, actually from day one of cloud adoption. The platform should protect your employees, data, applications, and infrastructure, as well as your customers from fraudulent activity, from spam and abuse. It should offer foundational infrastructure-related security, data encryption at rest, in transit, and in process, and advanced security tools to support compliance and data confidentiality. Additionally, it should offer protection for web applications and public APIs, regardless of where they are hosted. And this all requires a shift from a silo to a unified application protection approach, and will deliver improved threat prevention, greater operational efficiencies, and consolidated visibility and telemetry. So another misconception or a common misunderstanding often heard is that multi-cloud is not secure. The reality is you can secure multi-cloud environments with similar tools that you would use to secure your existing environment. Distributing applications and data across multiple clouds may actually make your environment more resilient than putting all your eggs in one basket. So with this, I hope I clarified some misconceptions and have given you some ideas on how to move forward to multi-cloud. If you have questions regarding this presentation or you want to discuss certain topics further, feel free to reach out to me. And thanks for listening, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Tom. That was Tom pre-recorded. Now we have Tom live, which is obviously always better. Hello. I hope you're doing well. You're ready for a couple of questions. I have noted a few while you were talking in your expose. Question number one, because I'm in parallel also watching what the chat may eventually ask us. So please revert to the chat window if you want to have questions asked to Tom. I have one question. I have a couple of questions. One is, you were speaking about the myth busting around cloud and cloud adoption. And one of the myths was, or is, that most people are in one cloud. Now, my question to you, provocative. I mean, if you have watched the panels of the past days, you know that I like to shake the coconut tree a bit. Question number one is that a sales pitch of cloud operators, or is that an excuse of cloud customers?
So what I was saying was that most customers, that it's a myth that most customers are currently in one cloud, so that most customers are actually currently already using a multi-cloud approach. So they are actually using multiple clouds, and they're often with certain workloads still on-prem and other workloads in public cloud. But what we are pleading for is to work on a one standardized multi-cloud approach that will enable you and give you the flexibility to deploy your workloads wherever that you want them.
Okay, but so I'm getting your point. This basically is a myth, but the truth is elsewhere, and the people who eventually believe in that myth probably do not really have a cloud strategy available yet.
Indeed.
Okay, then there was another one which also called upon me is, you said that one of the advantages of an open cloud or a multi-cloud strategy was basically to address policymaker concerns. Now let's kind of look into the looking glass. Would you see a chance, a threat, an opportunity that for certain sectors which might be developing high usage of cloud and secure cloud services, that policymakers would issue regulation forcing you to be in a multi-cloud environment?
You'll see that now already coming up in the UK, for example, where the national legislator for certain domains within certain banking domains actually already requires that you have, in terms of risk concentration mitigation, a scenario where you'll be able to move away out of cloud or distribute your work, being able to prove that you can distribute your workloads over different clouds. So that's already the case currently, actually.
Okay, in the UK, and do you see that trend anywhere else being material?
Currently not, but I'm not aware that it's an obligation in Belgium and Luxembourg currently. But I think it always makes sense, common sense from a concentration risk perspective to have your eggs in multiple baskets and be able have a plan B ready for you to be able to move your workloads to wherever that you want them.
Mm-hmm. One could anticipate something like that, for example, in all the sectors which are quote unquote critical infrastructure sectors, or relying on critical infrastructure like water, like electricity distribution, gas distribution, etc., including obviously banking and finance, the health sector and so forth. So it could be something which one could imagine in those quote-unquote critical infrastructure sectors.
Definitely, as I said, I'm fairly familiar with financial services, and there you see this tendency already taking place.
Okay. And another one where I would like to you to possibly extend on is you had that very nice sentence, and I'm quoting from memory, that cloud is perceived by many as being a risk to be managed rather than an opportunity to manage risk. Could you slightly extend on that for the financial sector, but also maybe on your experience with other sectors in relation to this, the opportunity side of cloud?
Yes, in the past, having multiple systems and being able to having to manage multiple clouds from a security perspective is can be quite daunting. But with new technologies and the opportunities that cloud provide, also with the multi-cloud platforms that we currently have available, you'll be able to manage and set policies, for example, over the applications and software that you deploy on multiple clouds far more easily. Also get telemetry data and security data over independent from where your software is deployed far more easily than it was in the past. So there is a lot of improvement in that area currently, for good reasons.
Okay. A last one, because time is flying and otherwise we run out. In order to kind of make multi-cloud approach more, I would say, more popular, or eventually to break negative a prioris, etc., could you see a business model of companies, service providers acting basically as an integrator towards a customer so that they have a single point of contact, and behind them there is a complete multi-cloud infrastructure? So basically they would manage for you the data in the multi-cloud environment.
The model of a cloud broker is something that is I think fairly is existent and fairly popular in the market. So definitely I see a business model there. Okay.
Well, thank you, Tom. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us this morning. And all success with your ventures. And see you soon, hopefully, see you soon, hopefully, on the next Luxembourg Internet Days. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.